This is part 7 of starting a single person business. I need to tell you something that might change the way that you think about your business and the businesses that you see around you. Every company is a media company now. I learned this in 2013. I was watching CrossFit, not the workouts, but the actual business. CrossFit at that time was growing faster than any fitness brand in history. They were changing the entire paradigm. And it wasn't because of the workouts, it was because of the content that they created. They were publishing videos, articles, podcasts, and training guides at a pace that nobody else in the industry could match. They were investing so much money that they actually had the biggest television studio in Northern California for a time. And I got to work for them. They became a fitness media company. And then the gym started following them, and many thousands of other CrossFit gyms actually opened up too. If you don't publish content, you are now invisible. Everybody else in your industry, in your town, is publishing content, and everybody looking for that kind of business will find them before they find you. And here's the thing, it's never been easier to create content than it is right now. AI can help you outline, write, and produce content that used to take a full marketing team. You can go from a blank page or a little idea in your head to a published blog post, a podcast episode, and a full social media package in a single hour. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how step by step. But before we go any further, let me clear up a confusion that I see constantly. Most people think that content or media means Instagram Reels or TikTok or a social media post on Facebook. But that's not content. That's just amplification. Social media is an amplifier. It pulls people toward your actual content. Your content then pulls people toward knowing, liking, and trusting you. Social media is like the megaphone, and content is the message. So what is the content? Well, content is the deeper material that lives behind your social media. It's the stuff that builds real authority that people actually bookmark and share and come back to. It's also the thing that AI goes out and finds to see if you're legit and you know what you're talking about. So there's 3 formats for content. The first is a blog. This is like written content on your website. This is probably the best for search engines and bots and for people who like to read. This is what Google indexes. This is what shows up when somebody searches for the problem that you solve. When a potential client Googles how to fix chronic back pain or how to get rid of my lower back pain or something, your blog post should be the answer that Google finds or their AI engine finds. So the first is blogs. The second is videos. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Most people don't know that. A 10-minute video of you explaining your approach, how to solve lower back pain, or sharing a client story or teaching something useful builds more trust than 100 Instagram posts would. And the third is podcasts, audio content that people listen to in their car or at the gym or on a walk. Podcasts build intimacy. When somebody listens to your voice for 20 minutes a week, they feel like they know you, even if you've never met. Now, in the last video, part 5, we built a social media strategy, and those are your amplifiers. Today, we're building the thing that those will amplify. Now, I've been telling people for years, create more content. It's been at least 20 years, and the number one objection is always the same: I don't know what to say. The truth is that yes, you do. You just haven't been asked the right questions. You need somebody to ask you a question like an interview. So that's why I built the content interviewer prompt. It's a copy paste prompt that you drop into Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, and it interviews you. It asks you 10 specific questions about your business, your story, your clients, your approach. It goes one question at a time, just like a journalist would. And you just talk or you type your answers in, whatever you want. Then after you've answered all 10 questions, it takes those answers and it generates a complete content package for each of the 10 questions. So that means a blog post, a podcast script, a YouTube thumbnail, 5 Instagram carousel slides, a podcast summary, and an Instagram caption times 10. One conversation produces 10 pieces of content. I'm going to actually show you how this works right now, and you can download this worksheet from BusinessIsGood.com. You just find this podcast episode and hit download, and it'll open up into a Word doc like this to make it really, really easy. Highlight everything below the line, copy, Command-C on a Mac, open up your Claude or ChatGPT, whatever you prefer to use for AI, and you paste this prompt directly into your AI engine. When you paste that prompt, it's going to start acting like an interviewer. It's going to ask you questions. It might ask you to upload a logo for your business, and that's okay. If you want to just respond with that, you can do that. And what that will do is it'll format some of the graphics for you. If you'd prefer to just leave them general, just say leave it general. Remember to talk to your AI, Claude, ChatGPT, like it's a person. That's really what the AI is there to do. Okay. Now I use this a lot. So it already knows all my different businesses that I work on: Catalyst, Two Brain, Business is Good, Lead Yourself. If you don't have businesses or you're not using AI a lot, don't worry about it. Just hit skip on this. Okay. There we go. Which business is this content package for? So now what's going to happen is it's going to start interviewing you. And there's a couple things you can do. If you're using the app, you can just record your voice, or right down here, you can use voice mode, click that, and you can talk to it as if it's interviewing you live. It'll pull out the transcript and still create the blog post, still create the podcast script, etc. Okay. This is going to guide you through the production of 10 pieces of content. And it's going to give you a lot of different tools. So after I went through this for my gym, let me show you all the tools that it gave me. So the first thing this prompt gave me was a bunch of examples that I should be using to make content. And one was TRT. Now I happen to have a lot to say about TRT. And so I thought this was a great topic. It gave me a podcast script to record. It gave me a WordPress blog to copy and paste with hashtags and everything else. It gave me some social media copy that I can copy paste onto Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. It also gave me some graphics. And one other thing too, it gave me a YouTube description. Oh, and it also gave me a podcasting platform summary too. So all that's just done for you. It also gave me these graphics. So here's one that's going to go on YouTube. Here's one next to it that's going to go on my blog. The next 5 are a great carousel for Instagram. This one is for LinkedIn. Okay. And this is a standalone one that I can post later too. It created all of this after I did that little interview with it, and it did it all in about 7 minutes. So what is the AI asking you? I wanted these to be easy questions, but also really impactful ones. So the questions start with your origin story: why you started this business, what moment made you say, I need to do this better? And then it asks you to describe the problem you solve in your client's words instead of just using industry or technical jargon. It asks who your ideal client is, what misconceptions people have about your service, and what makes your client approach different. And then it gets into stories. It asks you stories about clients that you're proud of or transformations that happened in your business, what you wish people knew before starting with you, the hardest part of your job, or one thing that somebody can do today to start solving the problem on their own. And finally, what success looks like after working with you. Now, these aren't random questions. They're designed to hit every angle that your content needs: story, problem, proof, education, and call to action, just like we talked about in an earlier episode. And if you answer all 10 questions, Claude will generate everything for you, or ChatGPT, whatever you're using. You don't have to outline stuff or structure anything or edit or format. The AI just does it for you. The prompt is in the show notes. Just download it, copy paste into your AI engine. So now that you've got this script, we're going to start with that. We're going to record a video. You don't need a studio. You don't need professional equipment. You need your phone. You need some decent lighting if you have it, and a quiet room. I'm in my office right now. I'm using Zoom to record this instead of my phone because I like the video a little bit better from Zoom. But you can see this isn't perfect. There's a blue wall behind me, and when I turn my head, you can see there's a little bit of blue in my glasses. That's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to help people. So put your phone on a tripod, lean it against something stable, face a window so you've got natural light coming in. And if you're recording at night or in a room without windows, put a lamp behind your phone that's kind of shining on your face. The light should be on your face, not behind you. You don't want to look like a silhouette. Audio matters more than video quality. Record in a quiet room with the door closed. If you have earbuds or a microphone, use them. That'll sound better usually than your laptop's built-in mic. But if you're using your laptop in an empty room, there's a way that we can fix the audio too afterwards. So don't try to be perfect. Now, pull up that podcast script for the first question that Claude just generated for you. And you've got a couple of options. Number one is you just read the script, put it on a laptop behind your phone and read it as naturally as you can. It's okay to glance at it once in a while. Talk to the camera like you're talking to a person standing right in front of you, your ideal client maybe, and you just met them at the Starbucks, or they're sitting across from you at the cafe. Option two, use the script as an outline and just speak freely. Hit the key points, but use your own words. This sounds more natural, but it actually takes a lot of practice to not ramble and say, So either way, don't try to be perfect. Record the whole thing in one take. If you stumble, pause for a second. I like to do an audio spike like this so that I can see in the audio track where my break was, but then just keep going and we'll fix everything later in editing. That's going to sound intimidating, but AI is going to do that for us too. Your goal is a 10 to 15-minute video covering the content from your script. Okay, so now you've got a video. Now we're going to do all that stuff that used to be hard and used to require a lot of different expertise or required a lot of time on your part. And we're going to do it all in an AI tool called Descript. So what I've done here is I've recorded a TRT podcast that was scripted by Claude using my expertise and just organizing it in a way to make it compelling and simple and concise. I recorded that on Zoom. I saved it to my desktop, and now I've just drug it straight here into the screen, okay? So that it shows up and I hit get started in Descript. What will happen now is that Descript will start a new folder for this project and it will start turning all of my words into a transcription. So it's going to put all the words on the screen first so that you can see them. But you can see the video is up on the screen. This row down here that I'm selecting, that's my video second by second. There's a few tools that we're going to be using, and it's going to be transcribing. One of the first things that I'm always going to do is just put a title card in here for YouTube. Now, the prompt that we just generated in Claude has already built that for you. So I showed you earlier, there's a couple of different formats, a couple of different graphics that I can pull up here. And I'll do that now. So here's a YouTube thumbnail graphic, and I'm just dragging that over here into Descript where this little plus sign is. It's going to show that title screen for about 6 seconds. That's too long. So I'm just going to drag this down to about 2 seconds. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing at the end of the video. I'm going to use these buttons to skip forward all the way to the end. I'm going to take that same YouTube thumbnail. I'm just going to drag it at the end. This is not something that you have to do. If this is confusing, you can't find the right buttons, don't worry too much about it. It's decoration more than anything else. The real magic is what's to come next. So it's uploaded things. It's already made a really good transcript. Now, there's a couple of different things that we're going to do. The first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to fix the sound. I'm going to go all the way back to the start here. I'm going to click on AI tools and I'm going to say studio sound. That's the first thing that I want to happen. It's going through and it's editing. It's removing the echo right now so that it actually sounds pretty good. But the next prompt is where things get really, really interesting. And I'm just going to do the basics on this video, but you can actually add cutaways and B-roll that Descript will generate automatically for you. So the next thing that I'm going to do here is say edit for clarity. This is amazing, and it's something that a human editor would normally be required to do for you. So if I just put it on low intensity and I hit submit, what will happen here now is the AI is going to go all the way through the transcript, and it's going to suggest places that we can cut. So here it is. But first, it's suggesting I'm Coach Chris Cooper from the Catalyst and Suzanne Marie be cut. If I hit that check mark, it will delete that text and it will trim that part of the video at the same time. That's incredible. Before, what you'd have to do is find that exact millisecond in the video and splice it. And then you'd have to go until the very end and you'd have to splice it there. Now I can press one button or not. I'm going to actually keep that in. So I'm going to say, nah, keep it the way it is. The next suggestion is to remove this researchers at the University of Chicago. I like that part. I'm going to keep it in. This is the same mechanism that we talked about in our episode. So what it's done is it's found in my video and it's cut that, okay? But we're going to go a little bit deeper than that. The next thing I'm going to do is hit remove filler words. I say an a lot, you've probably noticed. And so I'm going to have it find all my filler words. And we're going to go one by one. Okay, so here we are. There's a well, and let's get rid of that. Jim, well, you're just about like everybody else. Let's remove this well, but let's skip that next one because that like actually makes sense. Let's find the next one. Keeps paying you month after month. Okay, let's remove that one. So remember, it's not just removing the words from the transcript, it's actually cutting it out of the video too to make it flow really well. Okay, so let's find this next one. Okay, there it is. Got it. Now we've got a couple of options. What we've got here is we've got a video with decent sound. We don't say an ah, we don't have pauses in there. We cut out the redundant phrases. What we can do is we can just kind of scroll through this and find the place where I start talking. So if you just watch this now, what you'd see is the beginning of the video, I'm not talking for the first 3 or 4 seconds. I'm going to align the playhead. That's this blue line, and I'm going to hit split. Then what I'm going to do is just select that portion of the video where I'm not talking. I'm just going to hit delete. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the end of the document. I'm going to do about the same thing. Is there a portion where I stop talking, but the camera's still rolling? Yes, there is. Okay. Let's put the playhead there. I can adjust it with the arrow keys too. I'm going to hit split. I'm going to select the portion that I don't like, and I'm going to hit cut. We've got an edited video. We are ready to actually publish this thing or produce it if we want to. There's a few other things that we can do, but first, let's talk about getting just an audio clip. So I'm going to go to the export button, and we're going to do our audio first. So we're going to export it locally, and this is just going to give us just the soundtrack, and we'll put that into our podcast. After this, though, we're going to be linking directly to YouTube, publishing directly to YouTube on the Catalyst channel, and downloading a video that we can use later. So I could say here, let's do an export. Just the audio for now, please. Thank you. It gives me the prompt to download it automatically. I will be using this. By the way, if you want to listen to this, look for the Catalyst on whatever your favorite podcast platform is, Apple, Stitcher, whatever. And you can listen to this episode, The Truth About Testosterone, right after you watch this video, and you can see what it looks like. You can also go to YouTube and look for the Catalyst method on YouTube and actually see this video after it's been produced. So after I've done the audio, now I'm going to click on video. I can do the same thing, right? I can just download it to a local export, or I can have it automatically published to YouTube. But wait, what do I say in the YouTube description? Well, guess what? Claude already gave us that. As part of the package that comes from that prompt, Claude gave you a YouTube description. So you'll open up your Claude or ChatGPT or whatever you're using, and you will paste it right here. So I'm gonna publish this directly to my YouTube channel. Okay. I'm gonna copy paste that prompt from Claude. Let me actually do it so that you can see me doing it here. So I opened up Claude. I got the YouTube description. So you could paste that right in here into your YouTube description. Make sure that you're set to public so it will automatically publish, and there you go. This is a separate video. If you want to figure out how to link Descript directly to your YouTube, you could do it. It can automatically post. But here's where things get really amazing now. So we've got an audio podcast produced. We've got video produced. Now we can go deeper. So after we've published this on YouTube, we've published it on our podcast, whatever, there's a lot of other stuff that we can do with Descript. Number one, my favorite thing is to create a highlight reel. So I can take the podcast that I've got here, which is 10 minutes, 21 seconds, and I can cut it down to about 3 minutes. First, I can choose a layout that has me talking with the words appearing right on the screen. I can hit submit, and here it goes. That highlight reel is something I could publish on another day. I could also do that with shorter clips, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and produce all this stuff. I can have B-roll produced, okay? So I've already created a highlight reel. This is now 2 minutes, 25 seconds. And again, I can export that directly to YouTube, or I can download it if I want to. It's up to me. Now, when you get good at this, and again, don't try to be perfect, just get something out there. When you start to really fool around with this, one of the coolest things that you can do is you can click on the Underlord button. That's the AI for Descript. And you can put in a prompt like, can you suggest some B-roll footage for 3 to 4 spots in this video? Just send that. Remember to talk to the AI like you're talking to a human. You just want to be conversational and just ask it questions. Look it's already found spots at the 104 mark. Here we go. 4 strong spots for B-roll with suggested footage. Okay. Now it can give me some details, etc. It can find me some other spots too. Okay. It's giving me some suggestions. It will put in videos if I want to. There's the first video it wants to clip in there. Here's another option. Okay. I just select which one of these options I want and hit plus. It adds that into my video. Section 3. There you go. We're talking about belly fat. Yeah, absolutely. Add that in where it's supposed to go too. And then it's talking about squats and deadlifts. Great. Let's add this deadlift one. I like the looks of that for sure. When you play the video, it's going to cut away from my talking head into whatever the B-roll is that I put. And if I want to say something like, hey, yeah, go ahead and add these, then the Descript AI, which is called Underlord, will just do it. Please add 4 to the right spot. Done. So it'll insert all four of those. It'll also ask you which one of these do you want to use and stuff, but there you go. It's importing all four clips and inserting them simultaneously. If I publish the video now, it'll have B-roll footage plugged in. Amazing. So this AI makes this stuff really, really easy. And I'm belaboring the point, but you could do all this in about 20 minutes after you've practiced it a few times. So from one recording session, maybe 20 minutes of talking maximum, you get a YouTube video, a podcast episode, 2 to 3 short clips for social media, a blog post, an Instagram carousel. That's more than 10 pieces of content from one sitting. That's the content funnel. One input, multiple outputs. You create them once and then you distribute them everywhere. Here's why this matters for your business. Every piece of content that you publish does three things. First, it makes you findable. Blog posts rank on Google, YouTube videos rank on YouTube search, podcast episodes show up in podcast apps. All of them show up in an AI search. When somebody searches for the problem that you solve, your content is the answer you find. So make yourself findable first. Second, it builds trust. A potential client who reads your blog or watches your video and listens to your podcast feels like they know you. And by the time they book a call or an appointment with you, they're already sold. The consultation isn't a sales pitch, it's just a formality. And third, it compounds. A blog post that you write today will generate traffic for the next 10 years. A YouTube video from 2024 is still getting views in 2026. Social media posts disappear in 24 hours or as soon as the person scrolls down. Content is permanent. This is the fundamental difference between social media and actual content. Social media is a treadmill. You have to keep running to stay visible. But content is an asset. You build it once and it works for you forever. Both of them matter. Social media drives attention, it amplifies your content, but content converts that attention into trust. And together they create a flywheel that accelerates your business. So now you have three funnels working. There's social media, referrals, and content. And then the next episode, we're going to talk about the fourth funnel, which is paid advertising. This is where you can really accelerate everything, but only if you have the first three funnels already working. Paid ads without a content foundation is just burning money. So before part 8, make sure that you've completed the content interviewer prompt and generated your first content package, recorded your first video, produced it with Descript, the full video with podcast audio and at least 2 short clips, and published a blog post somewhere on your website. Then you'll have 10 pieces of content out there and you'll be ready to maybe point ads at. This is Business is Good. I'm Chris Cooper. If this was helpful, share it with somebody who's building a business or thinking about building a business for the first time. Next time, we're going to talk about paying for advertising without burning your money.